Welcome to another episode of Nerdy Dating. I'm your host, Zakka. What's Nerdy Dating? It is a relationship advice podcast from a viewpoint of a nerd right here in Kansas City, Missouri. And if you have a friend, family, or somebody who needs some relationship advice and just needs to hear a third person opinion, send them this podcast. Let them listen to it. Let them hear it out. Say, hey, there's a guy I know who gives relationship advice. It might work for you, you know. And they have a question. You have a question yourself you want to ask me. Please put in the comment section below. Or you can send to alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer on another episode of Nerdy Dating. Now, let's go and get into today's episode. And the main topic today is about how to build confidence, self-confidence, how to get confident with approaching somebody, how to become confident within yourself, how to become confident when it comes to dating. And it's pretty much about that middle part that I said there, confidence within yourself. You need to grow confidence within yourself. Now, how do you get that? It's easy to tell somebody just be more confident. That's the easy thing to do, but that is such the hardest thing to do, especially if you have a mindset of like everything you feel like you're doing is not working. You don't feel confident in yourself, and you're just like, yeah, it's easy for you to tell me to be confident. So how do you build that? Start external. Confidence is not something you just innately grow up with. It's built from external. It's built from everything around you. So start with external stuff. One thing I did to build my confidence in myself, I would start adding, like in another episode I mentioned, I would add posters on my wall that had like words of affirmations such as conquer your challenges, overcome your obstacle, achieve greatness, don't give up. I would put stuff on my wall so that way I would look at that and remind myself every single day that like, okay, I got goals and dreams. Let's go accomplish it. Don't give up. If we don't make it, that's fine. At least I aimed for it. At least I made the shot. And if I missed, I missed. But at least I went for it. I can always say when my time come and gone is that, hey, at least I tried. And that's something I put on my wall to remind myself every day to be like that positive impact. So it's raining around positivity from social media. I don't have negative content on my social media. I go and seek out positive stuff. I go seek out, like people like, oh, you looking at motivational quotes? Yes, I go look at motivational quotes. Now, follow people on Instagram who drop motivational quotes every once in a while. So I'll be like, okay, reminder, little victories equal to big successes. So every day, if I keep working hard and keep adding, to my goals, and working hard doesn't have to be, grinding. That's not working hard. Working hard just means you're putting effort into something that you want, and you're not just putting you're not going lackadaisical at it. It could be 5 minutes, but you're getting your all for 5 minutes. You put in work to whatever your goal is. So it's things like that to remind myself. And I remember one time I was dating somebody and it was like, well, you shouldn't be positive all the time. That's negative. And it was like toxic positivity was coming out at one point. People were like, oh, now you're being toxic positive. And for people who are constantly negative about themselves and need some positivity, that stuff can help. Now, working yourself down to the bone, grinding yourself down to the bone, that's not healthy. But just telling somebody that, hey, you can do this, you got this, don't be down on yourself. I understand you made a mistake, but let yourself process that mistake. Let yourself go through it. And then the next day, we got to find a way to make, either sit and complain about it or find a way to make this issue better. And how we going to do that? We got to start taking steps to get better. Those kind of things can help people. But when I remember I dated somebody, it was like, that's toxic positivity. And you're like, no, because for the person who's sitting there and saying every day I hate myself, every day I don't look good, I don't look attractive, I don't do this, I don't do that, and they're eating themselves alive, maybe somebody's saying, hey, you are attractive, you do this right, you got this, you're awesome, you're a cool person. Those kind of things can help somebody who's going through it to be like, hey, if they see I'm a cool person, maybe I am a cool person, and maybe I can get better. I don't have to look at my features and say I'm not, not really happy with my features. I don't have to look at what I do and say I hate myself. Matter of fact, what I do right now might be something that's not lifelong, but it could be a building block to something even longer. Or maybe it's time for me to leave this spot that I'm in and work on something that I want to do and get better. But how do I get that? How do I make that a success? Or maybe sit down and ask myself, what do I want in life, and work towards that. So positivity, surround yourself around positivity, and don't let anybody else tell you that it's bad. Another thing when it comes to that is don't compare yourself to other people. Another thing, it's really easy to destroy your self-confidence when you start looking at other people who your age, who's in your group, who everything they're doing, and like, well, they're getting there and they're doing it how they do it. I should be at the same level as they are. We're the same age. No. You can't compare yourself to other people because you don't know what they went through in life. You don't know what opportunities they had. You know, opportunities that they didn't have. You can't compare yourself to them. But what you can do is ask them. If you see somebody who's living the life that you want to live, ask them how they got there. If they're a genuine person, they'll give you some advice on how to get there. And hopefully not bullcrap advice like work hard. That's not going to work. Like, oh yeah, well, I did this. I met some good people. I had a good team around me. We ended up building up this. And here I am, you know, living this. Or I took this job and I met this person. Or while I was at this job, I talked to this person. And this person knew this person. And it lined up. And I, you know, got the position I'm in now just by networking. Like, if you see somebody who's doing what you want to do, go ask them for help. Go ask for tips. Don't be afraid. Start building that confidence up too. But don't compare yourself to other people because that will eat you alive too. So the first one, surround yourself around positivity. The second one, don't compare yourself to other. Be your biggest cheerleader. That's one thing I used to tell myself all the time. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. And let's say you have a feature like, I don't like these features. I don't like the way I look. Hey, you was built that way for a reason. Like, you look amazing, and start telling yourself that. Start believing yourself that you look amazing. And also own some stuff. For example, I knew I was going to go bald by the age of 30. Like, it was going to happen. Like, I saw my hairline receding in college at age of 20 and 21. And I was like, well, when that time comes, I have two options to either, you know, try to let it grow, but I don't like the patch on the hair and like the hair around. I don't like that. So I was like, or I can embrace my Michael Jordan look. And that was the person I actually looked up to. I was like, Michael Jordan was bald. I can embrace my Michael Jordan look at the age of 20 something. And heck, he was an athlete. So he was 20s, had a bald head in 20s. I was like, yeah, I can embrace a Michael Jordan look. Kobe Bryant bald. Like, I can embrace that look. And I'm going to go bald. It's fine. I'm cool with it. And I embraced it. Instead of running away from it. So embrace your flaws. Embrace the things that you like, I don't think is attractive. Embrace it, and other people will. There are some people who like a bald head and beard. I was able to grow a beard out, and I was like, okay, I'm going to own this. I haven't shaved my beard in 2 years, but I own this. So whatever you think is a thing that you're like, I don't really find it attractive myself, but if you own it and you carry yourself head high, keep it up, people are going to find you attractive because you carrying yourself in a way that makes you attractive. So confidence. Surround yourself around positivity. Don't compare yourself to somebody else. That's no way to build your confidence in yourself. And another thing, read books. The reason I have these stacks of books here, because these are books that actually help me build my confidence in myself and the knowledge that I could want to go approach somebody and easily approach a girl and have a conversation with her. One of the books is, How to Win Friends and Influence People. What Women Want Men to Know is another one. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There's a handful of books here. Never Split the Difference. You're a Badass at Making Money. The 5 Love Languages, which I love this book. Red Hot Touch, How Not to Die Alone, How to Create Chemistry with Anyone, The Art of War for Dating, which is one of the first books I read about relationships. If You're in My Office, It's Already Too Late. A book about divorce, like from how to not be divorced by a divorce attorney. The Flirting Bible, which talks about like different things such as positionings, what people look like, body language, just conversations. These are things that I read that help me be better at dating, help me be better in confidence. Because like, all right, somebody might have taught me how to actually date, but at least I know from learning from other people, from reading books, that I know like, okay, this is what dating is like, and I can use this to get better at dating. John Cena, Be a Work in Progress. And literally, this is the book I mentioned in another episode where it's just different days he has different quotes. Take ownership of your mistakes. Shifting blame would never spark growth. Like little things like that where you're looking for it and self-reflecting on yourself. And then The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. Love this book. Like these things that I read to build my self-confidence in myself and look into myself and take ownership of myself. When you own who you are and you trust in yourself, nobody can touch you. You're untouchable. Now that doesn't mean be arrogant and be condescending and put other people down. It just means you know how you walk in life. You know who you are. You know what you're about, and own that. Own that. You have a goal you want to achieve. You want to live in a big house. You want to go on trips. You want to be able to make money to do these things. Start putting yourself in positions to do that. Maybe right now you're working at a job where you're making $10, $11 an hour, but use that experience and then go somewhere else, or use that experience to grow with that company. Maybe you don't want to be at that company forever. I get that. But like, all right, I'm a associate right now. Let me become an assistant supervisor, and I get that on my resume. Then become a supervisor, and I got that on my resume. Oh, I got a little more income. All right, I'm gonna be here for 3 years. Then I'm gonna take this and go somewhere else and say, hey, look at the work I did here. Look at my body of work here. That's what the resume is, the body of your work. Look what I did. I'm gonna do that, what I did there, do it here. And if you take me in, you would not be making a big mistake. You will be making one of the biggest successes of your, career, because you brought in one of the biggest talents on the market. You have to look at yourself when you're building yourself up. You look at yourself as the next big thing, or that you are the big thing. Be your biggest cheerleader. Be the person like, I got you. Go rah for it. Be the biggest fan for yourself, and then carry that mentality. And somebody will be like, oh, well, I'm gonna look over you, I'm gonna pass on you. That's fine. This is your loss. But know who you are and don't let anybody else take that from you. But it starts by surrounding yourself around positivity. It starts by not comparing yourself to others. It starts by reading books about self-help and relationships and communication, where you're understanding. And maybe somebody who don't read. Heck, I got podcasts for you too. I listen to podcasts. One of my favorite ones, the J Trade podcast. He's a comedian, but he talks about relationship advice, and he's been pretty good at it. He also does the You Up podcast, 2 podcasts I listen to on a weekly basis. But the School of Greatness from Lewis Howes, who brings on different people who are successful in whatever field they're in. He talks to them and listen to what they talk about. Relationship Alive, the Tony Robbins podcast, The Ramsey Show, Sex with Emily, Gary V podcast. What else is on here that I listen to? Love Life with Matthew Hussey, The Great Love Debate, Shooters Gotta Shoot podcast. Like, there are different podcasts that I listen to where people give different advice on their life experiences and things they've done to get to where they are, how they had a successful relationship or successful marriage. I listen to them and like, if they can do it, I'm learning from them. When my time comes, I'll be ready for it, but I'm gonna build myself up first, so when that time comes, I'm ready to swing and hit and not swing and miss. And these are a few things I did to build myself up. And you can go ask people like, hey, Ali, like what Ali is like, what Ali does, and they will tell you, he's super motivational. He's his positive attitude, always has a smile on his face, ready to go, because that's what kind of person I built myself into. I could have looked at the world and been like, woe is me, nothing's ever gonna happen. Matter of fact, there was a point in time where I was completely broke. I mean, had negative $1,500 in my bank account. My car got repoed, and I could have been just, what is life? I'm never going to do anything better than this. I'm done. But I was like, no, I'm going to go work somewhere where it's not ideally for me to work, but I'm going to start my way up, build my resume up, and keep rolling. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to do this. And also, I had a good group of friends that backed me up and support me too during that time. But that came from me just being confident enough to go talk to them when I was a personal trainer and just open up and talk to them and stuff like that, and just start a conversation with people. But how I became a personal trainer, because I was confident in myself that I can do it. I went to school, I learned. And the same thing when I went to school, like I took my certification and learned. I went to school for advertising and marketing. But anyway, it's a whole nother story. But I went to school and I learned and got knowledgeable about the situation. And then when I gained more knowledge, I became more confident, be able to speak to something. And that's what you have to do about yourself confident. You become more confident in yourself, what you like to do. Go do that kind of thing. Go become more into your hobbies. Go for your goals. Go for your dreams. Plan it out. You don't have a goal or dream. Ask yourself what you like to do. What do you see yourself in the next 10 years? Start aiming for that. Where you see this in the next 5 years, start aiming for that. You're like, heck, I just want to sit at home and play video games all day. You can make money doing that. So start picking a video game. Start playing the game. Get on Twitch. Start streaming yourself. Get on YouTube. Start streaming yourself. Get out there and start putting yourself out there. So that way, and maybe somebody who's like, well, I don't want my face to be on camera. Fine. You can make an avatar and do that and have your face in the background, but your voice is talking to it. You can do audio changes so your voice don't sound the same. There's kids and teenagers who are doing this and making money on YouTube who never, you don't even know who they are, but the fact that they change their names, they change their voice, and they put pictures up and have this out, and they're making income. You can do the same thing too. You don't have to sit around. You don't have to wait. You can go get it. So go after your goals and dreams. Go build yourself up. Build more confidence in yourself, and surround yourself once again around positivity. Don't compare yourself to others. Listen to books. Read books. Listen to podcasts, and you'll find your confidence shooting up. Oh yeah, and I forgot one more book too. The Millionaire Next Door is another book I read to help me out and gain confidence in myself and just kind of learn more how to make money. Granted, this book is from what year this one came out. I don't remember the date I bought this, but it's been a while since this book, and it's probably a new version of this out. So these are a few books that I read to help me out with my self-confidence and whatnot. But now let's go and get into some TikToks and some Reddits from here on out. So TikTok, let's see what this first one's about here. This is from Pretty Basic Official.
I just wasn't expecting guys to still be so immature in their 30s or be so scared of commitment, because now I feel like they have an extra, like when they're a frat boy and they're like, yeah, I'm just trying to live my life, like whatever, okay, that's still annoying, but we get it, you're 23 and you want to live life. But when you're 34, when you're 35 and you're still like, yeah, I don't know what I want, I'm like, dude, you're like old.
Okay, so 35, no one what they want. And then there's another one here, and this is from Adele or Adeline Morin. So let's see what she's talking about here. All right, here we go.
I will never understand men that are like 30 and they're like, I'm still figuring out what I want. Still figuring it out. Get a journal. Figure it out right now. Go get a therapist. Figure it out right now. I'm like, how are you 30 and you don't know what you want?
Okay. All right. How are you 30 and you do not know what you want? That's easy. So let's say you went to college, right? So you went to college, got done high school, then went to college for about 4 years, and or let's say it took a little bit longer to complete college, maybe 5 years. So you're getting done with college around 22, 23. Then you get into the real world and you get a job where your resume, your degree doesn't get you the job you want. So now you're trying to figure out, okay, what to do in life. What I gotta do. And then you're trying to figure out who you are still. So by the time you hit 30, between 30, you might have an idea or at least starting to scope out who you are. But then you still trying to figure out what else you want in life. Do you want to settle down? Do you want to try to move up in your career? So this is all the things you're thinking about before even like step into when you talk to a girl, like, hey, I'm still trying to figure out what I want. Now, if they're talking about, dating wise, when they're trying to figure out what they want, maybe they're not there yet. Maybe they're not really there with who they want to date with. So they're like, I'm still figuring it out. Or they're just telling the girl that, like, I don't see you as an actual partner at this point in time. I just see you as, a friends with benefits or something like that. But if they're like life-wise, like, I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to, this is the career I want to do. I like all these hobbies. I want to make money. I see people making money following their hobbies. I want to do the same thing. So how can I do that? So how can I invest in this? Are you going to be a girl who can be willing to ride with me, invest in my hobbies, and it might not make money the first 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 years, but are you going to be here with me and okay with that? Or are you saying like, hey, how come we're not going on trips like every other girl I see on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook? Hey, I'm trying to build this empire up, but I'm going to work a 9 to 5 and then put in another 2 hours afterwards. So there you go. And then the conventional 9 to 5 still is not really a thing anymore. The 9 to 5 that everybody used to sometimes could be 10 to 7 or 11 to 8 or 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. with no weekends off, and you're working, we have Thursday, Friday off, but we don't have Saturday, Sunday off. So depending on what kind of job you're working at, it might not be a job where you're looking like, I don't want this life forever. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. If I want to move up or I want to sit here, what's my goal? What's my plan? What's my ideal here? So yeah, it can be a dude in his 30s trying to figure it out. And plus, since people are getting married much later, there's no rush to be like, I need to get married by the age of 24, 25. We can take time to figure out like, okay, I'm going to get myself settled in. Maybe it might take 32, 33, 34, 35. And then, got myself established enough where I feel free to open a date. Feel free to date without any worried about, can I take her out here? Can I take her out there? Would she be okay with this? Can I provide for me and her? So, yeah, there's dudes in their 30s who still don't know what they got going on. Plus, when you think about it, when you take don't go right into the world at the age of 18, go into the world at the age of 23, 24. It could take a little longer. It could take 10 years before like you actually establish. So 34, 35 would make complete sense. What I do is like, I still figure like I almost got it, but I'm not sure yet. But there's a guy here who also responds to this, and let me see what he says. And this is from Santiago the Wiz. So what does he say here? And give you guys another guy perspective on this.
34 when
It's a
you're
3-minute
35
video,
and you're
though.
still like, yeah, I don't know what I want. I'm like, dude, you're like old.
The amount of times that I've seen this come up on my For You page where girls cannot fathom the idea of why a man in his mid-30s might possibly be afraid of commitment even when he's in his mid-30s, it blows my mind because you think it's a pretty simple explanation. But it really goes to show the ignorance of how the average girl doesn't really understand the average male experience in his early 20s. So I'm going to help you guys understand, so hopefully you guys can stop asking this question and shaming guys who want to be single in their mid-30s just because you're single in your 30s. So the average guy 18 through like 26 is going to be broke and pretty much not really have that much access to meeting women. Typically, once a man starts being a little bit more financially stable is when he's going to have the most access to women because he's able to go out on dates more, he's able to just go out more in general to meet more women. So normally a man becomes financially stable around their late 20s to mid 30s. And a lot of men did not get to experience a lot of fun things in their early 20s like women do. A pretty girl who has no money is going to have offers to do a lot of cool stuff for pretty much no money when they're 18 through like 25. And then around 28 to 30 is when a girl is going to start looking for a serious commitment. But a man just started doing well and he's able to travel. He's able to go out on dates. He's able to go out to nightclubs and actually get attention for the first time in his life. And that's the average male experience. So when a man is 32, even though that might be the time for you that you're looking for a stable relationship, for him, this is all new and this is all exciting. And he's finally getting the attention he feels like he deserves. So he's not going to commit unless you are really, really worth it. Because why would he give up all this freedom? It's his first time ever experiencing this. But this is just a common tactic I see girls do where they try to shame guys for being single when they're in their mid-30s or even later. Like they're also not single and also in their mid-30s. But the reality is they don't want a relationship. It's not even that they're scared of commitment. It's that they know they don't want that responsibility of having a girlfriend when they want to go and experience life the same way you did when you were in your 18 through 25s. Girls will just use this as a shaming technique to make it seem like a man in his 30s is somehow behind because his obligation is to be married and have kids around that time. But the reality is men don't have a biological clock the same way that a woman does on the expiration when they could have children or start a family. And pointing out that a man is single in his mid-30s like the girl is also not single in her mid-30s, the only difference is the man's doing it out of choice. So just because you've experienced everything that you needed to in your early 20s doesn't mean that a man in his late 30s who never got that experience is all of a sudden behind for not wanting that. And it's a lot of responsibility being in a relationship, and not every man wants to have that responsibility if he still wants to travel and do things. And that's why some guys might be a little hesitant about a relationship.
Okay. He can do it without the...
When you're 34, when you're 30...
Without the attack. He could explain the situation without attacking, in a sense, but saying that women don't understand. But then again, the women who also talk about men, they don't understand. Like, they kind of like, ew, why men in their 30s not know what's going on. So I do see where he's coming from on this. Yeah, no, I agree with him for the most part. I agree with the fact that, like, and he's like, yeah, most guys in the late, they don't come more financially stable to the late 20s, early 30s. I was the same way. At 26, I was still living with my parents. I had a car, so that was good. I had a job and then got laid off, so I didn't really have a job for the most part. So I was trying to figure out, what life was again and what to do. But I was on a dating app. I was still out there dating, and I was still able to hook up. But as far as being an established relationship, I ended up losing the relationship at one point because I wasn't considered financially stable. So, and that was me in the age of 27, I believe, 27, 28. But I do get it. So when I became 30, I was like, okay, I'm going to get financially stable. I'm going to get this up. And I know by the age of 30, women date older, and when I became 30, I found myself with a bigger pool of women who was swiping right on me. And when I had a more financial stable job, and they knew that there's like a job, a car, in your own place, it was like I became more of a viable option for women, and I became some more viable option for women who wanted to date me. But I just had a car and a job and I lived with mom. I wasn't gonna get, a date. A girl wasn't gonna want to date me. She's like, you're not really in the place I want you to be. I want to come over to your place. I don't want to come over to my place. I want to come over. I don't want to see your mom. That's fair. So like I got myself my own place, and I knew one thing, my own place. I also saw that my dating pool opened up. Now, what you can say, well, Ali's mindset, you could have brought girls back to your mom's place. No, you're not gonna bring back girls to your parents' place. That's disrespectful to your parents. And no girl wanna go back and meet your parents day of. Like, what the heck? So when I got my own place, my dating pool opened up. Became more financially stable, my dating pool opened up because it was more easy to take a girl out on date and not have to worry about my finances going on. I could take her, show her out, and show her around town, and like, hey, here's this restaurant, here's that restaurant, where I had to worry about like, oh, this bill is about to break my bank, and it's only like a $30 bill. So it became easier for me to date in my 30s. And if a guy didn't want to be in a relationship yet, he still wanted to explore the dating world and still want to explore what was out there, he's not going to be ready for a relationship. So he tells a girl, I'm still trying to figure it out, it's because he still wants to date and still wants to go out there. He probably don't want to date you seriously, and that's one of the answers you're gonna get. Or he's just not financially ready enough to date and be like, I'm still trying to figure my goals and dreams out before I can date and settle down in my 30s, and that's completely fine. With technology, we have more time as a guy, so I do agree with him for the most part there. His tack was a little bit off. Like, he could have been a little better delivering the message, and not saying women at a certain point can't believe this, but for the most part, he did get some good points. It wasn't just shaming, he was explaining. All right, next video. This one's from tonight's conversation. Let's see what we're talking about.
Cause I be hearing the way y'all talk about us, ladies. I do. Y'all say we not. Y'all say we not smart. Y'all say we not smooth. So how do these that's not smart, not smooth, not keep finessing you? How? If it's not you, how do that's not smart? How do that don't got, don't do, don't give you, how they keep getting over on you? Who is it? If it's not smart, if we got no game, if we don't know how to cheat, who is it? Like, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm saying y'all not betting these, bruh. Y'all do invest. You let it tell you he got some plans for you, and you start investing immediately. Y'all don't require no type of evidence for. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Like, who was you before you got here? What do you provide yourself? Do you feel safe in your own skin? Hey, like, what does that? Y'all don't have none of these answers from nobody, and then y'all come back outside and talk about it's a shortage. Beloved, you never had the answers to the test.
Okay, that's interesting. All right. Never had an answer to the test. So pretty much, he's just talking about like women who said, they talk about like there's no good guys out there, there's no good this, but yet like it comes down when it comes to dating. What are your standards? What are your standards, and don't break from them? And then what are your preferences, and look at your standards above your preferences. And you find a guy who's not matching your standard, who whatever boundaries you have in your relationship, we were looking for dating and looking for a potential partner. That person's not matching it versus ignoring it and saying, like, oh, I'll be fine, I can change them down the line. You're not changing anybody. You're not changing anybody. So don't even think I can change them. Bump that. Throw that out the door right now. You're not changing anybody. Date because you want to meet somebody who matches your standards and go from there. Now there become unrealistic standards, like he has to make $150,000 annually. Well, you can go find that, but your list is gonna be super small, so you might want to put yourself in those places to do that. If you're living like in small town Kansas, you might have to go to Los Angeles and put yourself around business people, or people in New York, and people with like big business goals, and put yourself in those situations. So like what are your standards? And don't say, well, he did this, but he didn't match my standards. Like, he's gonna move how he wants to move. You're gonna move how you want to move. Find somebody who move with you the way you're moving. Don't try to make somebody else move the way you want to move. It's not happening. It's not happening. So stop trying to say like, oh, there's no good man because he did this and he did that, and I want him to do this, but he told me what he's gonna do and how he's gonna do this. I want to change him. No, you're not changing. Watch it, look at the red flags. If you've seen 15 red flags, then get out of there. Don't sit around and be like, well, these are red flags, but I can change it. I can turn them green. You ain't changing them green. They stay in red, a permanent red. So don't sit there and be like, well, I can change. Don't change. You're not changing anybody. If you see something off, be okay with it. If you're not okay with it, don't expect anything to change from it. But find somebody that matches your standards versus trying to change somebody's standards to match yours. It's not happening. All right. Next video here. Oh, no desirable truth. This man be on our podcast. All right, here we go.
At what age do you think a man should have his shit together?
27. 24 and 25. A lot of people are fresh out of college. So, like, I'll give them that.
You get a couple years to get your shit together after college.
Okay. What would you like his life to look like?
A nice car, a nice job, possibly has a house. Probably has a house. That would be helpful.
How much should his job be paying him?
At least 90,000.
You said possibly have a house at 27.
Yeah, possibly. Like, what was the question?
Okay. No, do you think that's realistic?
If you plan accordingly, yeah, a lot of people put a down payment on a house even earlier than that.
What percentage of the U.S. do you think is actually bringing in 100K?
I know people just out of college who are making over 100K right now.
Yeah. Well, like what percentage of the U.S. though?
Probably less than 20.
To be fair, he did ask her what she wanted, not realistically. So if he would have asked, what do you think women should want, that would have been different. But what she wants somebody who's 27 making $90,000 with a house at the age of, like, she's right. She can go find that person. She might be looking for a while, but she can find that person. Would she be having a relationship? Who knows? But she can find it. She can find it. Is it realistic to like the 10%, 20%? But it's not somebody walking out there daily. So ideally, not the average person is walking around at $90,000 at the age of $90,000 annually at the age of 27 with a house. It's just not ideally by that point. Courtney Ryan has a video and she's like, at least the average salary in America is about 55% on one of her recent videos. Not 55%, 55,000, 56,000 annually is the average income. So average, the person you're walking up to the date, they're not gonna have 90,000. Now you can go find your outliers. You're gonna have to put yourself in no situation to find those people. But the average person is making 50,000, 50 to 56,000 a year. So like, I really think the way he brought that conversation to her was different. He asked what she was looking for, what she wanted. She wanted a nice car, nice job. So guys looking at this, like, what's what all girls want? This is one girl out of the, billion, the hundreds of billions, the hundreds of millions of women out there. This is only one girl, and this is what she's looking for. Don't compare yourself. Once again, don't compare yourself to what that one girl. Find a girl that you're interested in, and oh, well, I want to be able to be attract women from all types. Cool, but you have to invest in yourself first. Become the point where you want to attract all the women that you want to get, and then because you're attracting every woman and every woman looking at you doesn't mean every woman is made for you. Just because you have a nice house, good car, nice job, and a nice car doesn't mean you guys are compatible. But I have more opportunity to meet that person, maybe, or she's looking for you to take your money. Come on, think about that. So you have to date somebody and what you guys' goals, what you guys are life goals are, what you guys' motivations are, what you guys' end goal is. Look at that versus looking at, okay, I have this much money and then she's gonna talk to me. If she's talking to you for the money, she's not somebody you really want to be with. You want to talk to somebody who's there for your personality, not for the fact that you have $100,000 annually coming in. All right, one more video here. This is from Tony Weave Jr. Let's see what we got.
He's like, sometimes I'll probably put like a rusting gun in my hand. And he's like, sometimes like I'll like
try and do the Spider-Man web thing. Never tell a guy that I'm into anime or Marvel ever again.
If you are a nerd and you are considering dating, let me teach you something. You should treat a first date like the first episode of an anime. The first episode of One Piece is just a boy in a barrel trying to be a pirate. 800 episodes later, he teams up with the Mafia in the cast of Zootopia to fight a Snorlax and her son Marshmallow Man at Gordon Ramsay's illegitimate wedding. But nobody thinks it's weird, because we gradually ramped up to it. One Piece sprinkles in the plot over time. And if you sprinkle your weirdness in
Where did
over
this
time,
come from?
the person
Where's
you're
Snorlax come
dating
from?
will fall in love with you before they realize you're a weeaboo degenerate. Everyone deserves a partner that loves them fully. Just don't shove everything into the first chapter of your story.
I agree with that. Like, you get, like she said, the girl, I wish I could find the original post, but the girl said, I told him I was into Naruto and Marvel, and the dude, like, trying to, like, make Spider-Man webs and Rasengan and getting really, like, dorky and nerdy with her, but you just met her. Like, you wouldn't do that to anybody you just met, just like, oh, I'm gonna get really dorky and nerdy with you. Here's a Rasengan. Yeah, like, wait a minute, calm down there. Calm down. Wait, you're doing too much. She just met you. She don't know how your comedy, your sense of humor works. Let's say how your comedy works, but I guess that works too. But your sense of humor, she doesn't know how you like to play off, how you like to interact with somebody. So you're doing the most date one versus like be yourself, yes. But also don't be like, find out what the humor are. I'm not gonna sit here and give somebody a sarcastic joke when their humor is not sarcasm. It's just not gonna work that way. I do agree like with him, but like if you want to get somebody to be into what you're into, explain it first, start slow, but you don't have to be like, okay, here we go, we'll start chapter 500, we're going all in on this, caught that catch, going all in on this, and this is who this character is on it. No. Slowly be like, okay, this is a show about pirates, One Piece. This is a show about Grim Reapers, Bleach. This is a show about ninjas, Naruto. This is a show about martial arts and yelling, Dragon Ball Z. This is a show about wizards, Sailor Moon. Like, that's how you slowly build somebody. This is a show about robots, Gundam. Build it up, slowly build it up. And then if somebody wants to watch it, watch the first episode with you, but don't be like, all right, Sailor Moon did this on episode 800 and Naruto brought down the moon and shot a hole through the sea. Like, what? Calm down. We're doing the most. I do agree with him. My fellow nerds, anime fans, Marvel fans, superhero fans, comic book guys, and girls, and gamers, start slow. Don't, especially when you get somebody into a whole new world that they never experienced, don't just like shove everything down their throat date one, but like, do you know who this person is? Do you know who that person is? Do you know? That is how you, the gatekeeping, what is causing people to turn away from geekdom and nerddom and all these things. So don't be the one to be like, oh, she had to know all this on day one. No, or he has to know all this on day one. No, let him take his time. Let her take her time and get open to it. Like he said, you slowly, as you start adding more stuff into it, from the dual disc to the Snorlax to the different JoJo hats. I don't think they're JoJo, but whatever hats they were. You slowly let somebody into your world. Don't just fully drop the whole world on them. He's like, you don't start somebody on One Piece episode 800 something when you're trying to stop a wedding with the Mafia and a bunch of... One Piece does get wild. That's crazy. Yeah. One Piece is crazy. Now I'm thinking about it. But anyway, he's right. So don't just drop somebody into that world. Slowly introduce them and let them unravel into that. All right. Let's go and keep it moving. We'll do 2 more videos. This is from Naughty New. I hope I said her name right. I probably messed it up. She said 16 questions to find the right guy, part 1. I'm going to read this. I'm listen to what she says. I'm going to react to her to see like how right it is.
Hey ladies, these are 16 questions me and my girlfriends came up with a couple of years ago to vet the guys we were dating. We're all now either happily married, engaged, or in long-term relationships. Number 1 is how you give and receive love. So this is just pretty much your love language. I rank them in order of how well it complements mine. So his top 2 ways of giving love needs to match my top 2 ways of receiving, and vice versa. Number 2, how are you like when you are angry, and how do you handle anger in arguments? I need to know if this person
That's
is
a good one.
hot-headed and quick-tempered, or if they're the type of person to yell in arguments, because if you start yelling at me, I'm going to fight back, and it just escalates the argument, so it's not very effective. Number 3, what are you like when you are stressed, and how do you handle stress? I want to know how this person is.
Like that one too?
Day-to-day pressure and major life events. I can handle the day-to-day stuff really well, but if something really serious happens, I know I need someone who's really decisive and calm. Number 4, how do you take feedback? How do you give it? And if you did something wrong, how do you handle your mistakes? AKA,
I like
does
that
this
too.
person have a growth mindset? Do they reflect on themselves? Are they self-aware? Do they own up to their mistakes and apologize? Number 5, what do you do if someone else makes a mistake? Are they the type to
Like
cuddle
that.
and soothe and say it's okay? Or are they more of a hard ass and gives tough love? Number 6, where do you think you can do better in life? List everything you can think of. Again, are you self-aware?
Nice.
Do you actively try to improve yourself? Also gives a pretty good picture of what you're getting yourself into. Number 7, what are your top life values you absolutely live by, and which ones do you sometimes fall short of? I want to know what's important to them, and then what's really, really important to them. Number 8 is, what are some of your guilty pleasures? Do you drink or smoke? If so, what kind of drunk are you, and how often do you get drunk? This one is personal. I've been with guys who are angry drunks and like to argue when they're drunk, and it's just really annoying to deal with. Plus, it's kind of scary. Also want to know if that's how they like spending their free time. Go to part 2.
Okay, so that's part 1. I like that. I actually like that. Thought she had a lot of good things on her. And this is not just for vetting guys, but also for men vetting women and vice versa. Like, this is some good stuff here that I think anybody should take note of and ask those questions. Now, do you ask them on date 1? No, you don't want to make date 1 like an interview, but maybe date 2, date 3, date 4, like come up with conversations and things to talk about. These are a few things you can pop out, get to know each other more, and get to know each other more on a serious level versus just what's your favorite color or what's your favorite movie you like to watch. Like asking the question, how do you like to argue? Or do you like to argue in general? Like, how do you like to handle discussions? How do you like to talk things? What is your life goals? Like, those things you guys can talk about and learn more about the person that you're dating versus, oh, we don't get deep. We just talk about, baseline stuff. And it's good to ask these questions so both people would understand, like, hey, it's okay to get deep, okay to open up and not just be basic level. So I like that. I like what she is giving there. And this last video here, this is from Thoughts by Lex, and let's see what she's talking about here. Let's see what she got.
Episode 3 on why men deserve less. I find it funny how the moment that you catch a man in a lie or some type of lie, the first thing he wants to hit you with is reverse psychology and manipulation, saying, oh, well, believe what you want to believe. As if my eyes didn't show me what I already seen, and you want to tell me believe what you want to believe. That's what they do when they want to manipulate you. They want to make you feel bad and say and question yourself and question your eyes, what you seen in the DMs or what somebody sent to you in a screenshot to believe that what you saw is really even what you saw. They deserve less.
No, not men to deserve less. You're just dating the wrong kind of people. You're putting up with the wrong people. That's what you're doing. You're dating toxic people. I don't care if a guy or girl. If somebody says, boy, you believe what you want to believe, and you like, well, somebody sent me a screenshot of this, and you don't trust your partner, then why are you hanging around there for? Get out the relationship. Why don't want to end the relationship? You don't trust them. Why are you dating somebody you don't trust? What is the point of that? What's the point of keeping yourself going through and always worried about what they're going to do and having anxiety because you think they might cheat today, they might do this today, they were talking to that girl over there, or she talking to that guy over there, the dude just walked up and said hi to her and he's like, oh, she's cheating. Like, one, become secure in yourself and be okay to understand that, you know what, I can do bad all by myself. I can do bad by being single. I don't need you. A relationship is a want, it's not a need. So why do men deserve less? No, you're dating people who are not valuing you as a person, valuing you as a partner, and it's okay to leave them. It's okay to leave them. It's okay to be single instead of being in a relationship and going through heartache and headaches and frustration and trying to make something work when somebody obviously doesn't want to pay value as a partner into you. It's perfectly fine. You don't have to put through that. So instead of blaming a whole gender or a whole group of people for one person's inability to treat you as a partner, just leave. It's not worth the headache. Trust me. Well, I'm gonna make it better. I'm gonna change them. I said earlier, there's no point in trying to change somebody. They're not gonna change. Don't change them. You're not gonna make somebody go the same way and walk the same way in life you're gonna walk. Find somebody who's already walking the same life that you're walking, on the same path that you're walking. You're not gonna change somebody to walk the way you want to walk. So get out. End it. It's okay. You'll get over the relationship. You'll find somebody, after you invest in yourself, get more time, find more confidence in you. You'll find somebody who's going to treat you, who won't treat you right, and who won't sit there and devalue you as a partner. Who will treat you as a partner, treat you as an equal, who treat you and let you know, hey, this is what came across my timeline. What you saw is actually the truth. Yes, this is what's going on. Give you the update on it versus holding things back and making you feel stupid about it. Just saying. All right, we're gonna do 3 Reddits and call it a day. So first one here, girlfriend liking pics of guys she cheated on me with. My girlfriend cheated on me with a guy a few months back and we moved past it and I've forgiven her. I noticed today that she likes the pictures of the guy she cheated on me with. I'm extremely annoyed and feel disrespected. Is this behavior okay or am I just blowing it out of proportion? I've yet to mention any of this to her. Would love some different opinions on this. Okay, one, why are you sitting there watching your girlfriend on social media? Like, there's obviously a lack of trust there. You don't trust her. This is the reason why you're like popping the camera. Like, it just didn't come across your timeline unless you were following the guy as well, and then you saw his picture, and then you looked down and saw that, oh, she liked the picture of the guy she cheated on me with. So, are you following him and you seen it? You need to have a conversation with your girlfriend. You need to say, hey, babe, I saw the picture of so-and-so. Let's call him Tyrone. I saw the picture of Tyrone. I saw that you liked it. It made me feel uncomfortable that you liked his picture. I can't tell you what you can do, but I just want to let you know that how I feel in the situation. I didn't appreciate it. You cheated on him with me. Should I be concerned? Should I be worried? Like, are you talking to him? I wanted to say I wouldn't even ask, are you talking to him? But I would ask, should I be concerned? It made me feel uncomfortable. Is everything okay? And let her go from there. She's going to probably tell you, yes, everything's fine. She probably, going she's gonna be upfront and honest with you, or she's gonna give you the lie like everything's fine. And from there, you just gotta watch and see how she moves, and you notice her actions become less and less attentive to you, and all of a sudden she's more invested in somebody else, or she's like always going out and not really being around, or you guys are not hanging out much more. And then you probably think like, hey, I'm not feeling valued in this relationship. I'm going to leave the relationship. That's what you need to do. Versus accusing somebody of cheating. Say, I don't feel valued in it. You can tell them, like, hey, this is how I feel. I don't feel valued. We don't go on dates. We don't do this. We're going to go out. I try to invite you out. You guys have busy. You have plans. Okay, I get it. I don't feel valued. I'm going to move on. She'll probably find her way back to that ex. So be it. But at least you got that peace of mind and be like, all right, you know what? I don't have to worry about her doing this. She cheated on me once before with him. Apparently didn't bury the hatchet. She's still liking pictures of him. And normally I wouldn't even care about liking pictures if it was just a random guy. She liked this picture, the dude shirtless, whatever the case may be. She liked this picture. I don't care. But the fact that she liked a picture of an ex that she cheated on you with, or it ain't an ex, just a guy that she cheated on you with, it's already lack of trust there. She probably don't respect you as her boyfriend. Bro, it's time for you to get out. All right, next one here. Rejected by a girl I was interested in. She still wants to be friends. What's next? I'm 29 male. Met a girl, female, 26, through a dating app. We went out together every week for about 2 months now. She told me she felt comfortable talking to me. I felt the same. I really liked her. A couple of days ago, I asked if she wanted to make things official. We met up today to talk about it, and she told me she enjoyed talking to me, but does not feel attracted to me. Oof. She was honest and said that it was partly because I was scrawny. She mentioned that she's comfortable with meeting up with me as friends. I'm not interested in meeting up just as friends, but agreed to it as I felt I still might have a chance. He put in quotations, do I? Just wanted to get this off my chest and seek some advice from anyone ever who faced such situation before. What should I do? Meanwhile, I'm starting a workout regimen to build up my body to look and feel better. Sorry, my guy. she's not interested in you, and you're gonna get bigger, putting yourself up in the gym to get stronger, she's still not gonna be interested in you. You'll be like, well, I got buff for you, I got, put muscle on for you, and you still don't want to date me. What's up? I did this for you. Do it for yourself. You want to get bigger, you want to get better, like physique wise, and more muscular, more tone on you. Do it for yourself, but don't do it for her, because she doesn't want you as a partner. If she wanted you as a partner and wanted you to move on as a relationship, find you more attractive, she would have, when you asked her out at that moment, she would have been in. Y'all been going out every week for 2 months. You defined a relationship. You did the right thing. You was like, all right, I'm gonna define the relationship. I don't want to just be friends. She just wants to be friends. She don't see this going any further than boyfriend or than just somebody you want to date with. Matter of fact, she just wants you to put this in the friend zone and leave it there. That's fine. You need to move on. Do not try to get bigger for her. If you want to get bigger in the gym or get more muscle in the gym, do it for yourself, but don't do it for her, because she's not going to change the way she views you. She will always see that scrawny dude back then, not the masculine, or not masculine, but not the muscular guy that you became in the gym by lifting weights and did a workout regimen. So for you, you don't have a chance. You gave it your shot. You shot your shot. You got rejected. That's okay. Take this lesson. Move forward. You'll find somebody who's going to appreciate who you are and be willing to date you regardless of what you look like. So keep that confidence, man. Keep going through. It sucks getting rejected, but understand, we're not looking to date everybody out there. We're looking for the person that matches us the most, that fits us the most, that aligns with our life and values the most. Not every girl out there is not going to do it. So if you're looking for that partner, you're looking for somebody who matches you the most, not every girl out there. So it's okay that you got rejected. Another one bites the dust. We'll keep moving forward. Thank you for watching this episode of Nerdy Dating. I really appreciate it. If there's another episode you want to watch, you can look at it right there. If you want to subscribe to the page and watch more content, it's down here. Also, you have a question about dating you want to put in the comment section, go ahead and do it. Or you can send me your dating question to my email of alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. That's alizakkanerdydating@gmail.com. And I will answer your question on the next episode of Nerdy Dating. Thank you so much for watching the show. I appreciate you, and keep being awesome.